Welcome back. The power's back. We're back. Internet's back. We survived the Derecho. And I guess that's what we're going to talk about this week because
because there wasn't any racing going on.
Nope. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about some racing that happened this weekend. Nothing around here, obviously, with the Derecho moving through, and then somewhere, in some places, upwards of close to a foot and a half of rain. Mm-hmm. I know the Indianapolis area is underwater for the most part. I know our governor, Braun, I can't think of his first name, Mike Braun, has filed the paperwork, and I believe that we've been approved that the state of Indiana is, in fact, a disaster area, whatever it's called. So relief is on its way. Power is slowly getting back to places. I know I got mine, I moved through Tuesday morning and right around noon, and I think we were out of power till 3. 7 Wednesday night.
Right.
So with that all going now, we didn't get internet back on. We tried to record Wednesday, but the internet did not come back with the power, and so we went ahead and just wrote it up. And I guess that's our forte into maybe having a blog, a vlog, a column, whatever about local racing. Shout out to Bob Schwartz. Hopefully he learned how to read quickly and exercise that ability and was able to read the post. We appreciate him for sure and his support of us. But there was, I guess, still a little bit of racing. I know, was it this weekend Aaron made it out to RC?
Last weekend, I think.
Oh, shit, didn't even race RC.
Maybe it was.
Anyway.
This having, half a week off work and no racing, I kind of vaguely aware what day it is. No, it had to have been before because he was out of power too.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we didn't even RC race around here. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did go on was NASCAR was able to get their show in under the lights Friday night with the trucks and Saturday night with the big boys. Joey Logano won that. But the bigger story is Kyle Larson finishing 6th in the Richmond event. Was able to withstand a rain delay out west in Iowa where they were running the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, that was a convenient rain delay for him.
Yeah, and if you read his write-up about what he said, he was adamant that they were going to get it in. He was going to miss his opportunity, and it's such his life. But with the rain falling as long as it did and stretching out track prep, he was able to hop in a helicopter from Richmond and get his ass in that seat on the pole for this year's Knoxville Nationals, where he ended up winning that race and pulling it into victory lane. And of course, if you read between the lines, there are some boo birds. The guy wins, and when you win a lot, you start to get hated. We know that firsthand with Frank Kalinsky and a few other racers at our local short tracks, which it's fun to see guys get good, and you got to respect their talent and ability. But ultimately, it can get very boring. There's been, what year was it? Cannon won pretty much every feature.
Just about, yeah.
And so it could get kind of boring, and but you have to respect the level of talent that Kyle Larson has and his ability to run top 10 in NASCAR, hop in a helicopter, go win a World Outlaw Sprint event.
Right.
So kudos to him. I know he's certainly picked up a lot of fans since his exodus to NASCAR and re-enter into NASCAR. But so there was some racing that went on. Not much though. Because of that storm moving through. And there are still places around here that they are waiting on power. I mean, look at the pictures. Like it's incredible, like what happened. And so we are certainly our thoughts go out to all those still struggling with waiting on power to show up and internet. We get to sit here and do this, and you can you can sit there and brag that you never went out of power. I don't
I
know.
mean,
I don't know
I
how lucky
don't
you
think of it
got.
really as a brag so much as I think last year when NIPSCO went through and upgraded all the service around me, that it was probably effective.
Yeah. Well, they are. Well, they're upgrading a lot of more pieces. You
Yeah.
know, because geez, well, the end of July, the storm moved through. We were out of power for about
Hmm.
36 hours ish. 28, I think, is what I counted. And then we had a decent week, and then bam,
Yep.
we got smacked hard in Valpo. But I know that Portage, the Port area, um, a
Yeah, I
lot of
think what,
northern
like
Lake County.
95% of Lake County was out or something like that.
When that storm moved through last Tuesday, there was one point where 100% of Lake County was out of power.
I believe it.
So this was far larger storm than I think any of us could really imagine. I know
Yeah. Yeah, this is the worst I've ever seen.
my wife's aunt lives in Iowa, and a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe it was 2020, like
Hmm.
right with COVID, could have been 21. A derecho moved through central Iowa, and I mean, I think they were out of power for like close to 3 weeks. So knock
Yeah.
on wood that doesn't happen to anybody, but it does look like extended time period of being out of power and out of
Hmm.
internet is kind of trending for some of the areas hardest hit. But
Yeah, I know there's some school systems around us that they're looking at maybe 2, 3 weeks before they can start having class.
yeah, it's a wild time up here in northwest Indiana, and I know that over there in Grundy County and Kankakee County, they also got hit. Maybe not quite as bad,
Mm,
but they definitely took one on the chin as well. There's a lot of this is the fun part of social media, is seeing all the clips and videos people have done.
yeah.
I've seen multiple people were like out on their porches that rolled through, and you just see trees coming from behind the house, knocking down power
Hmm.
lines, and it was like straight out of a movie.
Yeah.
You
Twister.
know, yeah, yeah. It was like a mix of Day After Tomorrow and Twister.
Hmm.
So absolutely wild. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and talk about some racing from a few weeks ago. We were hoping to have Beau on last week after he captured I believe it's his first modified win, period. We'll go ahead and confirm when he does come on. But I know he's had some heat wins, but I don't think he's had a feature win yet. And boy, did he pull off a great one coming out turn two on that last lap, man. It was fun to watch, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun to talk about. And we'll have him on here in a minute or so, and we'll see what he has to say about it and how much he enjoyed that.
Yeah.
All right, as promised, joining us tonight, some last lap heroics. Beau DeYoung gets past Frank Marshall on the last lap to claim your first modified feature win.
Second.
All
First
right,
one at Shady.
second. First one, or first is the worst, second is the best, right?
Uh-huh.
Tell us,
Absolutely.
tell us all about it.
Oh man, that was we were just really good that night, right? I mean, we took a real nice long break there through June and got recouped, re-upped, went through the car really good, and we came out swinging there at the beginning of July, and I think we finished outside top 10, you know, 2 or 3 times, right? We're running 2 or 3 nights a week there. Went to summer nationals, had some good finishes, some tracks we've never been to before, and leading into Shady that weekend, just specifically that week, I'm like, man, you can't run this good consistently and not pick one up, right? Whether it's a local show or big show or it doesn't matter. That confidence gets rolling in. It really helps you out on that night. Got lucky with the pill draw. Ended up winning the heat. And man, there on that first lap, when I got the invert, started front row outside, I was like, man, I got a really good shot, and just God, I did not get the start I wanted. Right? I mean, Shady's pretty notorious. Restart on that outside front row, you got to keep the momentum going into one there, right? And I didn't get it, and I was like, man, I probably just threw it away because them diamond cars, man, they're good out front. When they're by themselves, they're really good, and usually get a few cautions, and they're always out by themselves, right? And I remember catching up with lap traffic there, or right before then, me and Bryce Scheidler were back and forth there for a few laps. And we got to lap traffic. I'm like, man, this is going to be my shot. I said, we're going to get too spread out after this, just thinking to myself. And we got through a few lap cars, got caught back up to Frank there, and we had one more to pass, and Bryce drove it in on me after I made a mistake off of 2 and just barely clipped my left front. And it was enough to cut my momentum off, give Frank, another half a straightaway lead. I'm like, man, that was my shot. This ain't going to happen. I started over driving, and I remember seeing like 5 to go, right? And it was like, man, there's 2 or 3 more lap cars up there. It might be enough to get back to him. And, man, it worked out. We were able to catch back up to him and coming to the white there. We had one more car to pass. We passed the last one off of 4. And I was starting to run kind of a diamond line, enter in a little higher and cut down to keep the momentum to make a move on the next corner. And it just happened the right time, right? I went high going into 1, and Frank got really good at hooking that rut in the middle 1 and 2. It was just enough to shove the nose, and I got under him. And then going into 3, we were, door to door the whole way, right? And I drove it in on the bottom and felt like I had to turn. I didn't, I'm not the type of guy that's going to run a guy way into the wall or anything like that, right? And going into 3, I hooked a rut. I tried turning the car 3 times just because it was so tight, right? We were about to go 3 wide with the lap car, and I finally got it rotated, and then I realized, well, there's the lap car up there too. I probably got put up into him, and no hard feelings or nothing against Frank, but it just ended up working out for me that night, and I came out on top.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to watch from the infield. And I know a few people record it in post. I think Bambi Lank's one of them, and I could imagine much like your Clarksville toilet bowl win. That's right. Forgot about that one. But I'm sure this will be much like that, where you rewatch it as often as possible.
Yeah, I can't. The only video I could find was that the behind the wheel, right? They record a lot out there at Shady, and that's the only one I could find. And man, it's awesome to watch that, right? Because I watched it so many times, watched the car where I made mistakes, what I did wrong, and then I kept watching it. I'm like, man, I was looking at the crowd, and I could see Emily down. She's usually sticking at the fence for me going into 1, where she's jumping. And I think the one that cracked me up the most was Calvin Corning. Man, he's in the infield after he pulled off, jumping when I got inside the ring. I've never seen it. He was so pumped. Oh man, that made me get goosebumps just thinking about it, right? And then coming out of 4 when I saw a crowd stand up on the video, that was awesome. We do this a lot. We put a show on for the fans, right? We all put a lot of time, effort, money, resources, you name it. We put a ton of effort into this stuff, and to put on a show and, get that reciprocated from the fans, man, that's a great feeling.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where you would claim your home track. I feel like Shadyhill would probably be it, between the proximity and how often you're there. But what does winning 1 at Shadyhill mean to you, knowing how long you've raced there?
Man, that one means a ton to me, right? I mean, I haven't won out there, I think, since – I'm still a young guy, but I don't think I've won out there since 2017. That was, I think, my last year of the cars I picked up. We used to have 1,000 to win out there each year, and I picked up that and racked up 2 or 3 more after that the rest of the year, and then that's when we made the jump to modifieds as far as myself, and then that's when me and my dad started racing together. So yeah, to win out there, man, that's just awesome, right? That'll always be my home track. It doesn't matter, how much traveling or whatever we do. Shadyhill's our home track. I was born and raised there from, a kid playing with Hot Wheels in the rocks and grandstands, right? And I've been there every year ever since, especially for the big shows, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate the relationship that I've been able to build with not just you, but like all of the DeYoungs, Brad, your dad, now Emily, and her whole Sutton side of the family. Guys, a good time. and the straggler you all have seemed to have welcomed in with open arms and open hearts. Anthony Carter, God love him. You know, he is very back and forth on social media, and you can never seem to figure him out. But you guys got a really good clan out there, and you all work very hard. And you know, you've gone. I know you and I have talked multiple times about chassis and motors and what everybody's kind of running. But this year you've taken it. Actually, I think it was last year you joined Team Vanquish and Zeke McKenzie, who is kind of a localish guy. But how has that relationship, helped you excel your program?
Yeah. So Zeke and Ricky, man, they've turned into like another set of parents for me, right? Our biggest thing with finding, because forever we were in Marvin Burton race cars, right?
Yeah.
We were in them forever. That's where my dad was, and even then, racing's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to make it fun. You shouldn't have to go give a guy your hard-earned money and go back and forth. I can't get a hold of him, or can't do this, or can't do that. And that's what really influenced our decision to join Vanquish when we did. Zeke and Ricky, they welcomed me with open arms, just like I'm one of their kids. I mean, I talk to Zeke and Ricky every day. They're one of the greatest people I've ever met, and any question, doesn't matter, racing, life, whatever it may be, they're always there with open arms and have accepted me. And, that's what makes it fun, right? Like, especially even like last year when we went on that Mars tour, it was, me, Zeke, and Ray. We were all at these tracks. We were spending the night. We'd camp and stay up way too late before the next night and, have a ball and just tell good stories, right? Like Zeke's old racing stories, or Ray and his hunting vacation, or my dad with his hunting stories, right? We just have such a good time. We have a great relationship, and it makes the racing incredibly fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Zeke actually has come quite a long way in his own car, able to clinch that Summer Nationals championship this year.
Yeah, so that was a big deal for not only Zeke and Ricky, but just for Vanquish in general, right? It's the Summer Nationals deals have typically seemed to be ran by either Mike Harrison or an elite car, and that's kind of been the mojo for the past really 10 or since the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So for Zeke to go out and do something like that, means a lot to us as his customers. He's still going out doing all these races and improving on his stuff day in and day out, right? I mean, he lives, eats, sleeps, breathes racing, to an extent to where even, like, man, I wish I could do that. Almost a little bit jealous, but,
Right.
There's always it's a lot different too when you're racing for a living. So, yeah, to see Zeke go out and do that, that was a really, really big deal for not only Zeke and Ricky, but just Vanquish in general, right? They're really starting to put their name in as a staple brand and a brand to, recommend even as a fast, consistent car that can go anywhere in the country and be competitive.
Yeah, and being to a couple Summer National shows and watching on Flow like I do, and in Dirt Vision, and seeing the builders and the chassis guys and all the motor people, you said Elite Longhorn really used to be a good modified. I think they've kind of turned a lot of their attention to the late model side of things, and they're doing really well there. But there's a lot of copycats too. I remember back in the day when I kind of was getting into dirt racing with my buddy. Bob Pierce was still very much the end all be all of modifieds, and now you've got Elite is pretty much the top dog, and then there's a lot of up and comers, Royal race cars. We talked to Matthew Baker after his first win with Coles County, and Michael Ledford does a good job in what I think is kind of like a house car for Royal. And, to see someone kind of local like Zeke, able to build his own, race his own, and win his own is got to be, kind of proud. I don't really know Zeke personally, but knowing he's an Indiana guy, that's really cool to know, like, we're kind of from here, and to see guys like you work with him. And I know you drug Braden Doyle over, who ended up catching your drive shaft in his lap 2 weeks before your big win.
Yeah.
And so picking up like him, and I know Ray Bollinger, he's another real hot shoe, tough competitor out of Illinois in the modified class. He's in a Vanquish, so to see him in that Vanquish car build come along, is really cool.
Yeah, it's I'm lucky enough to where I felt like, I guess there isn't really a right time. Zeke takes his customers with pride, and if he isn't going to overwork himself or overbuild to where the point where he can't accept customers, or well, this guy's giving me more money. He's going to get a phone call, things like that, right? He is seriously so incredibly helpful to anyone and everyone. And just to see him now, I mean, his cars have even won races up in Canada now,
Oh
right?
wow.
Canada, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, right? That's primarily where we're based around. And that's where a lot of Zeke's clientele come from, right? And it's really, now that I've been in with Zeke for a few years, it's cool to see, like a lot of these guys that used to struggle that you'd see at the track and be a mid-pack car, and man, they're right up front winning races, right? And I think that's just a testament to what Zeke builds. He builds a great car. I mean, he takes, the old stuff where it was 75% driver and 25% car, right? Zeke has turned that in, flipped that around, 75% car, 25% driver. I'm just lucky enough to hold the steering wheel.
So you're not a driver, you're a steering wheel holder.
I'm a steering wheel holder. I'll
Well,
live by that.
I've seen you get up on the wheel, man. It's awesome to watch you run. So kind of talking about your traveling, we should let everybody know you are the 2025 Sunoco Go Rookie of the Year Mars Modified Division Award winner. I don't know. I think I worded that wrong.
Championship.
And Jim, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you've been around, you've traveled, you've seen some tracks. Shadyhill has a bit of a reputation, and I know that we've struggled out there keeping a good surface for everybody, racers. And I know it hasn't just been Shadyhill. Montpelier had their big meltdown on national broadcast Hell Tour night, as well as many big shows that have been broadcasted. So how does a driver attack a track? Obviously you all ride out there on your pit bikes and four wheelers and check things out, but as even in a 8 to 10 lap heat race, a 12-15 lap B feature, a 20, 25, 30, 50, 100 lap feature, we're getting ready for that. That's exciting. How does a driver manage a track? Obviously you don't want to continue to hit the ruts and the holes and break stuff, but you got to do what you got to do, and it's the same track for everybody.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head right there. Everyone races the same track. Everyone pulled in them gates. Everyone bought a pit pass, right? There's a reason. I mean, you're lucky enough. I think, honestly, we're all lucky enough to have a place to race, whether it's a 30-minute drive or a 3-hour drive, right? Doesn't, minus a payout and whatever it could be, right? But as far as like looking at a track and managing a track, man, with last year, I mean, half the races we went to were new tracks to me, right? A few of them off the top of the head, Spoon River, Highland, Peevely, Quincy Raceways, right? The St. Louis area and, central southern Illinois. Um, a lot of that started for me, the week before, right? We just took it 1 week at a time. It was just me, my dad, and Emily, and our dog, Stagger, beating up and down the road. So a lot of it started that week prior. So we go race weekend, we get home, we'd wash Sunday, get everything, maintenance parts, whatever it needed, right? And then Sunday night, usually I was sitting watching videos from these tracks, okay? And my first question to myself all the time was I'd watch hours and hours of just qualifying, right? Different times of the year, different weather, different circumstances, right? Whether it's before late models, after, or where we're at in the order, right? A lot of that plays a big difference because some of these tracks we went to were so hard to where, it'd be glass chrome slick by the time you went out, or some of them were so hammered down, you're like, man, you can't loosen this car up enough to get turned in a corner, right? So a lot of that has to start with that. And then from there, it's a lot of just looking at the track, seeing how it develops over the course of a race night, right? Again, some of the great tools that we have in today's world is like Flow Racing, Dirt Vision, right? there's a lot of national broadcasts there. There's, people on Facebook Live or whatever it may be, YouTube, you name it. You can tell a lot about a track, and I've gotten pretty good at it. My dad has as well. Looking at a track, how it develops, what lines come in, when they come in, right? And then from there, then it's about, okay, what does your driver have to do to be good on that track, right? Does he need to go, all out for the entire race? Does he need to save for half of it? Should he be beating the wall down? Should he be saving the body on it, right? And a lot of it comes down to, you just got to go for the chance to win, right? These modified races anymore, especially on that touring series, none of it's a joke. Anyone in that feature, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even make a show on a normal Mars night that could go and win just about anywhere in the country. So a lot of it has at least personally for myself, I do a lot of watching videos. I probably drive everyone crazy watching videos, right? And then it's just a matter of watching a race night, how the track progresses, and then again, what they do for track prep, right? Some people are, well, we're just going to water the cushion or flatten it, or, hey, we're going to rework the whole track. We're filling holes. We're cutting it. We're doing the whole 9 yards and repacking. That brings a lot of different setups in, driver styles in, and just all around racecraft.
Awesome, man. And you certainly worked that track to your liking there at the very end. Granted, you had a little bit of help from some lap traffic, but you definitely used the perfect line, I guess you could say, to steal one from Frank Marshall. God, I bet he led almost every lap of that race.
No, he led every lap. He beat me to the flag stand on the start.
We don't have to talk about that. Well, that's awesome, man. And we got to go back and talk about Prairie Dirt Classic. Just kind of like right when you're on the verge of things, and you made the cut. You got out there with 58 other modified drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Got yourself into a B main and just missed the transfer spot.
Yeah, that one. That goes back again. I think that was the last race we had before we actually won Shady. It was because we got rained out that week in between. We came in July there and we came out on hot streak. We ended up finishing fourth at Macon with Summer Nationals. We went to Kankakee. We ended up finishing, I think, sixth after getting tore up in the heat and starting deeper than what we anticipated, right? And then went on, ran a few more, then actually went back to Shady there and finished third, right behind Bryce and Frank. It was week and Bryce won. And yeah, leading into Fairbury, we make out our vacation for the year, right? We go down on Tuesday night, and then me and Emily are there, and we hang out. We'll watch the flow race with the late models there, watch the track, see how it develops, and then we go racing. And Friday, again, I missed the locking in and not having to run a B main by one spot. Yeah. And a lot of that just had to do with, the driving lines that I picked. I burned my stuff up trying to beat the wall down. And a lot of that comes from, watching old videos, right? I think the modifieds get a reputation now at some of these other tracks to where, we're only going to run the bottom. We're only going to run the bottom. And I think it's very true. A lot of guys are monkey see, monkey do, right? And I just had the decision. I was like, man, I can't just follow everyone on the bottom there. I got to figure something out. And the top ended up working, ended up one spot out there, and then starting front row outside of the B main there on Saturday, right? It was actually Zeke was on the pole for that one. And there was a ton of people, man, why isn't Zeke just drop out, just get the Summer National Provisional. He's a champion, blah, blah, blah. Give your other guy a run. I'm like, man, you can't. I mean, we're all here to race. I said, if I'm going to have the opportunity to start in front of 4-6 other guys, right, I'm going to take that opportunity, and that's how it's going to work. And then it could have worked out exactly how, it worked out for me. If I was in that same position, if Zeke dropped out, well, I went out and I ended up breaking. We had just a bad ground to our MSD and our coil, a lot of our 12-volt system there, and that actually took me out of the race there, running in the transfer spot with like 4 to go. That one sucked. Man, that one was rough. But yeah, but then again, there, if Zeke wasn't there, then we would have just let another guy in, and I think that other guy that would have made it in was Mike Harrison, so that would have been a guy to really have to deal with in that feature.
Yeah.
And another guy to pass at that too.
Right.
So.
And a guy who has won, I think, multiple times that race.
Yes.
You know, he's kind of the old wily vet, but I mean, he can still put on and run a good show.
Absolutely.
So racing is not the only thing exciting going on in your life. You're working hard. You're getting close to finishing things up there professionally to get your accreditation license, whatever it may be. But also, you and Emily have announced a baby girl on the way. Congratulations. And I'm sure that's way more exciting than any last lap heroics, right?
It absolutely is. Man, me and Emily, we are just so excited, right? We've been together since 2019 now. We got married last year, and we finally announced it. Man, that's a great feeling. We both can't wait to be parents and bring this girl into the world.
That's awesome, man. And you guys definitely have a great group out there with all the Suttons and everyone you guys have kind of collected along the way. All the DeYoungs are wonderful. But one question remains: who shot the Tannerite?
I did.
That's awesome, man. You got good aim.
Yep, I shot it and built the box, the whole 9 yards, and God, I was there. I was nervous. I missed the first shot. I won't even lie on that.
Oh, you only posted the one.
And but I'm okay with that because I'm shooting target, about this tall.
Right.
At I think we're shooting 150 yards with it, so that's a good enough shot for me to kill a deer or do any of the hunting I want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, big congratulations to you on your win, on your success in racing, and certainly a big congratulations to you and your family and Emily on the addition. That's awesome, man. We're excited for you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Before you head out, we want to give you an opportunity to thank all of your sponsors, your supporters, and I guess Emily for sticking by your side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I got to thank Emily and my dad, right? Without their help and everything they do, there's no way I'd be doing what I'm doing, right? We all, people may look at it and be like, well, that's not how a race team should operate or anything like that. My dad, he makes money, he works, and is able to provide this for me, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Emily's always making sure all our stuff is clean, whether it's fire suit, the toter, groceries, drinks, whatever it may be. We're always stocked, loaded, ready to go. And then, my job comes in being the mechanic, right? I take care of the car through and through, everything from, washing it to tires, fuel, filling fuel jugs, whatever it may be. We each have our task, and we have a great program that really works out for us. We all get to do our individual things and do our part. And, I'm lucky enough, again, to be the steering wheel holder, right?
Yeah.
And be able to give the opportunities of victory, good finishes to them and, prove how much they helped me. And then for other pit crew, right, I have Cody, Drew, and Anthony. Them guys, they helped me out a ton. Cody, he takes care of a lot of our maintenance for our rigs, whether it's trailer bearings, brakes, on our rig, whatever it may be. And then he'll come out to the track, he'll grind, change tires, fill fuel, whatever it may be. Drew, he just started coming out with us last year. Right? He's a crew guy for Mannix Firquan, and he started coming down and helping us out, and he's been a great help. He's been doing everything that isn't necessarily the fun work, right? It isn't setup changes or anything like that, but it's stuff that's got to be done: tires, fuel, battery charger, change the gear, do this, do that, right? A lot of that stuff, and he's been a big help with that. And Anthony, right? Most of the time it just comes from him wanting to steal setup or whatever it may be, or setup advice. But
you notice he doesn't have a Vanquish, right?
I know he doesn't have a Vanquish. I hope he's working on it because
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him on one here for a while now.
Yeah.
But he has always helped me out, whether, what, I mean, even just outside of the racing sense, right? He helped, he scratches my back, I scratch his back, whatever it be with cars. And we're just good friends, right? I've even seen, looking at my phone now, I missed 2 calls from him during this, while we're doing this right now. And yeah, he's been a great friend, great help all around. And then as far as sponsors go, I got DeYoung's Landscaping LLC, my dad's business, Vanquish Race Cars, Chris Kittle Quality Roofing. He ended up stepping on board this year, and he's been awesome help with tires and fuel this year. He's really helped us out to keep our program going. Angry Duck Graphics, shop angryduck.com. They take care of a lot of my merch, everything online. They have their own web store to where they can, we can ship merch straight to the door or buy it at the track. They do a bunch for us. Willie's Carbon Dyno, Mullins Race Engines, Dirt Demon Graphics, Wise Graphics and Designs, Easton Hunter, and Rick Wise. They've, they've done a great job making sure our car looks good year round, right? They put out some great designs, some great graphics, and we've had no issues ever with any of our graphics. They've been great to me. Superior Sales and Service Toro, Mike White, man, he has been a great sponsor, right? He takes up the entire nose for a reason. And man, we love seeing him at the racetrack and getting to hang out with him. And, if anyone needs a mower, hit up Mike because he's got some of the best Toro equipment around. Three Daughters Racing, Guy Sutton, he's helped me out a ton too. Whether, minus being just a sponsor on the car, right? He's run around and dropped parts off for me, ordered parts, whatever it may be. He'd drop anything even if it prevents him from racing that weekend, right? He'd drop it and go do it just to make sure we made it out. So I really appreciate that from Guy. Emily Sutton, realtor. Anyone selling a house in Indiana, that's my wife. Snyder Auto, Rick Irma. Rick has sponsored me forever, right? For as long as I can remember, ever since I got in big cars, probably the age of 11, 12. And even outside of working for my dad, Rick actually gave me my first job growing up, going through high school. So I've always appreciated that and his help. Multi-Fire Spark Plugs, Tommy Scott, Napa Auto Parts, DeMott, Indiana, John Boy Motorsports for Marketing, John Atkins, Integra Shocks, Kaiser Manufacturing, and then always a special thanks to my grandma, my Nini, my papa, and my mom and dad for always, and the rest of my family there, right? For always coming out supporting us, whether it's, a 30-minute drive to Shady or a 3-hour drive to whatever track we decide to go to that weekend. They always make it a point. So I can't think, there's an army of people behind me, and I always appreciate their help.
Well, that's awesome, man. We certainly push to support those that support us, that support the racers and the racetracks, because as you know, it is not cheap to do this.
No.
We certainly don't own any race cars, but our cameras are certainly expensive, and we talk to enough race car drivers to know that race cars are very expensive. So, to be able to pick up a win and to thank all those people and show them that you're working hard and it's paying off, and I know those sponsors love to see their name in victory lane.
Yeah, there's always been a lot, to be able to do that, get good results, especially not only the people that support me, but just everyone in general, right? There's a ton of people. I'm sure there's someone I'm forgetting, but I don't want them to go without anything. So I can't thank everyone that does support me, whether it's right up in my face or behind closed doors. I really do appreciate all of it.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you for coming on, Beau. We appreciate your time. We know you're hard at work and you got a little bit of a break here late in the evening. I'm sure you got to go back to it tomorrow morning. But thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking. And we'll certainly see you at the racetrack, man.
Absolutely. I can't thank you guys enough for having me on. And this has been a great time. So I appreciate it.
Right.
Well, we certainly appreciate Beau DeYoung and his last app heroics. Certainly a big congratulations to him across the board, with baby girl on the way and picking up his first feed barn modified feature win out at Shadyhill, his home track.
It's always big to get that first win at your home track.
Yeah. And I totally forgot his Clarksville win. You know, it's a random race at the start of the year that in Clarksville, I believe, is closed now. And like we do have a handful of guys that go down. I remember seeing like Lomax has made the trip. I think Strock has made the trip. You know, it's like a early mid-March race, and like I totally spaced it.
We're not even thinking racing it. Well, I mean, yeah, we are.
And I actually, funny story about that, and he'll get a kick out of this. But I was down there a few years ago wrapping Anthony Carter's modified, and
yeah, I remember that day.
And I think I was there like 5 hours maybe, but Emily was gone. Beau had to run somewhere or something, so it was just me and Anthony left in the shop working. And I don't know if I just drank too much the night before, but like I just got this flood of like I need to go to the bathroom and I need to go now. And like it was either like you finish and I'm going up to the gas station, or I'm gonna have to figure this out. And of course the joke has always been like, don't touch my trophy. And I literally told Anthony, text Beau, I'm using his trophy. If I can't go, I'm using his trophy. And luckily I didn't have to use his trophy, but all is good now. But yes, his toilet bowl trophy from Clarksville is in his shop, and it's actually really cool. You know, it's a pretty. It looks like a space age bidet thing.
Yeah, I remember Rockford's Fufu trophies frequently were toilet bowls, and they kind of had the same look to them.
Yeah. So we have definitely had quite a relationship with Beau and all of the DeYoungs and Buttons along the years. And you know, to see him pick up his first feature there at Shadyhill was awesome. You know, I know everybody was excited. You know, I don't know that he quite cleared the stands like Brad DeYoung has done, but I think Riker still takes the cake on that. I mean, I think 2 whole sections came down there when Riker won his first feature.
And that's saying something at Shadyhill, because every feature you've got a stampede coming down there.
I do. And so it is really cool to see him. And maybe it's because it was a little bit later in the night. I know adding that 5th class, you know, splitting up the 4-bangers, you know, we run a little bit later. And let's see what else happened that night. That had to have been, so that was Heart of America late model. So we had quite the show going on. There was a lot of stuff going, and certainly a lot of track prep, as I've said. I know, you know, they ended up canceling last weekend because they had 8 inches of rain by Wednesday, and then it rained some more. You know, as you look at, I think Winnemac and Peru were underwater. Now Indianapolis is underwater.
Yeah, I saw
that amount of moisture really leads to a soft soil, you know, soft track.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
I want to say Ron Varash shared a picture of, I think, Mount Lawn down central Indiana. Yeah, the water was halfway up the wall.
Yeah, so it's been a very wet week. I don't believe anybody can say our area is anywhere near drought. You probably go.
No, I think we've gone completely opposite end.
Yeah, I think we go a solid like 2 months without precipitation and still not be in a drought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun times.
But at the same time, you know, the ground being all hard like it was, it didn't really absorb all that well.
Right. So, but yeah.
So I know Tuesday afternoon. Well, yeah, afternoon when we finally shut down work because power had been out for an hour and the storm had finally gone through. I pulled into the complex here and maybe 100 yards back from my little parking lot section was completely underwater.
So much rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see Beau doing big things there in the Vanquish ride. We did not ask him what his one positive was. I assume that it would be.
I'm going to assume it was that post from the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with his hashtag one positive. Is certainly he's got a baby girl on the way with a very close second of that feature win.
Yeah.
We did have some good interaction last week. Let me find it here with the post we put up.
Oh yeah, your attempt at writing down all of our ramblings.
So many notes. That's the wrong book, I think.
Oh.
That's the wrong book. I don't even know where I'm at. Hang on.
You're at the Good Acre Photography East office.
Yeah. Yes.
Or south, I guess.
That's the old one.
Whichever one you prefer.
I have no idea where I put it.
All right.
Is this it?
This is behind the scenes, everybody.
I go the wrong way in here. Oh. Anyway, we had some one positives. I think we'll just do a big, huge, unanimous one positive. Everyone's got all the tires on the car. Yeah, I don't know what I did with it. There's that. So that's that. Ooh, maybe I didn't write it down.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't.
Man, we rained out a week, and you're all out of sorts.
We didn't even post it this week. You know, that's this week's one positive is no body damage. All the tires.
Let's cheat here and get on our phone and check it out, because there was more than that. Aaron Ward got to shoot a new kind of racing. He took his camera out to King Hobbies and Raceway, and they were doing outdoor. I think they were doing the not really road course because it's all dirt, but the not oval dirt course there. So he's been posting pictures from that and swearing up and down how much that I don't know what do we want to say that he
can't take his night off.
He's learning the back end part of this business too. Let's see, Buju didn't really have to say a whole lot. He just posted a picture of himself with Tony Stewart, and that's pretty one positive. Mason Meister got to run a new track and bring home a top 5 finish in a semi-clean car, and there was a lot of, to do about the Hornets Hornet/Pure stocks out at Plymouth that we're not going to get into. See, Bob Schwartz moved his car and really thought about getting it out, kind of getting the itch. I don't know if he's talking about his race car or his RC car, but either way, it's clear to see Dirty Bob at the racetrack. Ryan Powell also commenting about Plymouth. He got to sit in the stand and watch instead of work, getting himself ready for retirement. Liz, one of our photographer friends, Liz Fetters, was an actual race Santa this weekend and got to sit and cheer for her family and friends without a camera, and it was so nice. Which, we can attest to that. It is nice every once in a while getting to put the camera down and actually, being a spectator again, albeit briefly.
Yes.
Travis Larson got to spend time with the family camping, catching up with friends, and making new ones at softball draft tourney that his team finished 14th out of 76 teams, which that's pretty good.
Yeah. There we go. I found it. I never wrote these down. Yeah.
There you go.
Pudge found from Speed.
Yep.
Carl, the car didn't end up on the roof. See, I told you. It's on all 4 wheels.
Right. And Jay Freak got to hang out with some of his favorite people and meet some pretty cool stars. Which I assume he's talking about Aaron, because Aaron will tell you he was talking about Aaron with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really talk about the big show out there.
No, we got rained out and powered out and interneted out.
Yeah, right. So you ended up getting credentials, and
sort of, kind of, yeah. We paid our way in, but ended up in the infield because that's where my seat is at that racetrack.
Yeah. So tell us all about it. I know I texted.
Let's see. We rolled over. We barrel rolled a midget. One got up in the air. I don't think it went all the way over, but I was standing across the racetrack looking through the camera, so looked like it went over. But looking at the pictures, I don't think it rolled all the way over, but it did get airborne. And then we rolled over one of the Hornets. One of our friends, Chris Kane. Believe he last told me he was doing okay. Still a little beat up, a little sore, but hopefully on the mend. Because that was scary the way that car came down, roof first into the concrete wall, and concrete walls don't give.
Remember that happened to Keselowski?
That did happen to Keselowski. Yep.
And he rolled it right there at Atlanta, and just kind of like
that's pretty much exactly what happened to Chris. Just
not as fast.
Not as fast, kind of a different angle, but
yeah.
But the cars look very similar. I didn't realize the wreck was as bad as it was till I got over and looked at the car in the infield and said, oh, that's bad.
Well, we're certainly glad he's doing well and is okay, and we'll live to race another day. That's the important part. But I know
yeah,
that really. Go ahead.
We got to meet Ryan Newman. Got to talk to Tony Stewart again. We've got, I know he doesn't remember me, but got kind of a history with Tony Stewart and the S4 crew down at PRI.
That's you, Stan.
And then yeah, that's you, Stan. And then got to meet Kenny Schrader for the first time. I've been in the same place as Kenny Wallace a few times. Talked to Kenny Wallace before, but it's cool meeting Kenny Schrader too.
Yeah.
And then I have to go back and look at the pictures. I know they had a whole bunch of legendary drivers at their autograph session there.
Yeah, the Kenyans.
The Kenyans were there. I didn't take notes.
Not from Africa, as in Mel Kenyon and his brother.
Yeah. I want to say Tom Bigelow.
Yeah. That was on the post.
And Pancho Carter, I want to say.
Yeah, that was on the post.
Yeah. So that is a hell of a group of drivers right there.
Yeah, Aaron was very excited.
Yes, he was. That was one that he, no way he's going to miss that one, regardless of who we had to coerce into letting us in.
Well, I know it was a late night, but it was a good one for you guys. Definitely a good experience.
Yeah. The rain that came through earlier that day, there was a lot of are they going to get it in or not? But hats off to Irish and his crew for pushing through, and we ended up starting late, and then having the wrecks that we did, and ended up pushing it really late. So I'm sure I was dragging at work the next day, and then had to go shoot Grundy after that.
Yeah. So that event really kicked off a full weekend of great races.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
You were out there. I was watching North-South 100 working on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dylan McGowan episode flipping out of the track.
Yeah, I remember you sending me that.
And parking it in the infield as soon as they got it done. And then they saw in the back that they're pulling off a second race car. And so he pulled out there, and as we talk last lap heroics, this guy pulled off a last lap heroic to make it into the main feature that night after flipping out of the park. I mean, granted,
wow,
new car, but nonetheless, North-South 100 did not disappoint all the way through Saturday night. I got to watch the highlights of Josh Rice and Superman Jonathan Davenport just trading sliders for like the last what seemed like 15 laps. But great racing all around down there in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And up here too, Beau was not the only last lap heroics at Shadyhill even. Our buddy Kyron Roundtree, the reigning champ in the Bomber division at Shadyhill Speedway, was able to pull one off on his brother Bradley coming to the checkered flag there. I think it might have been I think he might have thrown the slider in 3 and came out of 4 on top. But yeah, I do remember him pulling into victory lane there, and Bradley walked up to congratulate him. And Kyron's first question was that clean? And when you're brothers, it doesn't matter because you're brothers. You can be a little dirty. I think you got a little leeway.
Yeah, you can turn around, run backwards on the track, and wreck everybody.
Yeah, right. But Kyron put on a hell of a show, and even Grundy had a great race in the super late models. Ultimately, finished.
Yeah, Ricky and DJ, right there side by side, and that, defy anybody that says Grundy's not a two groove racetrack.
Yeah.
It's a shame the way it turned out. I understand it anyway. That it's people that don't understand it quite as much, but the coming to the checkered flag there. It is what it is. Racing deal. So Eddie Hoffman credited with the win on that one. But yeah, it was all year. Grundy's had some really, really good super late model racing.
Yeah, that's good. That's what they need. And I think this was last weekend, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. The last race that we were at
was a great weekend of racing. It seemed like it didn't matter where you watched, what you watched. Somehow it was great racing.
Mm-hmm.
But as we look ahead for more great racing, did we do R1 positive? As I'm skipping over things.
No, we did not.
I think I'm skipping over things. Anyway, #1 positive. There was a lot of great racing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And our power came back on only after 30 hours. So Truthfully,
Okay, so
my hashtag one positive is that despite the otherworldly weather event that we experienced,
mhm.
nobody seems to be seriously injured or hurt, that we know of, and just continue to be patient if you're out of power. NIPSCO guys are working. I've seen all kinds of crews from across our
Mhm.
area and outside of our area pulling in. I mean, they've got a whole mini city set up at the mall in Maryville.
Yeah.
They're working diligently and round the clock, and we got to give them their space and be patient. Patience is a big
Mhm.
thing, and
Yeah,
patience is one.
definitely don't shoot at the cleanup crews.
Yeah, right. Great. Now we're gonna shadow ban. You said shoot, uh, but
Oh darn.
yeah, don't darn it them. But yes, patience is certainly one of the harder traits to come by,
Mhm.
especially living where we do and having such
Yeah.
luxury, and we take it for granted, and you get in a situation like this, man, it can be tough. It can be really tough. And truthfully, if you're in the area without power, who knows when you're going to listen to this? It might be 3 weeks
Yeah.
from, 3 weeks from now. But hopefully you stayed patient. But yeah,
Well,
my
hopefully
hashtag.
you get notifications on your phone.
Yeah, right. So yeah, my one positive is despite not having any racing this past weekend, we are looking forward to some racing this upcoming weekend.
Mhm.
Last I saw, weather looks pretty good, but who knows where we're at.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
tonight into tomorrow is the only rain we're supposed to get this weekend.
but yeah, most importantly, it seems like everybody that I know and for the most part that I've seen has made it through unscathed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
What's
I'm
yours? That
gonna
you
just
never
gonna
lost power?
well there's that, but also that everybody that I've talked to has made it through, albeit some without power still, but nobody's really like there's anything seriously bad. We're just looking at probably restocking the fridge.
Yeah,
I know Aaron went to a day or two beyond when you got power back. Some of the people I work with just got power back Monday night,
right.
so almost a week without power.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess the fact that we all are making it through this and there hasn't been a whole lot of I guess there has been, but everybody's getting through this together as a community. Um, and we survived the gas lines and the grocery store shelves being empty,
yeah,
and we're gonna come through gonna come out on the other end of this, and everybody I think should hopefully be okay.
yeah. That's probably a take that I have that is probably not shared by many. Is that I don't I don't look for disaster by any means,
Mm,
but events like this bring the community together,
right.
except
It's
for
it's a Mr. Rogers thing. Look for the
except for
people that are helping.
except for some spots.
Well, there's that, but
But ultimately, it's a very trying time. But I remember like
yeah.
2 weeks ago, man, 3 weeks ago, I was coming home from work or something, and trees were down and stuff, and like
Mm,
my entire neighborhood is out front cutting trees, drinking beers, hanging out with neighbors and friends and checking on each other. I think I would be remiss if like we didn't really recognize that. And
yeah.
I know, like I said, I don't actively search out disasters, but I don't mind them because they are very big community building things, and like we're
Mm,
so attached to our phones and social media and living our own lives that we're not quite as neighborly as we used to be, you know.
right.
And so an event like this, as disastrous as it is, like knowing that I haven't heard of any reports of like any deaths. I think there was
Just the one in
reporter,
Portage where the house exploded.
yeah, and so unfortunately one claimed life, but for the most part, everyone made it through unscathed, and that's awesome to see. But the cherry on top is just the community building that I've
Yeah.
seen in my area, and I feel like it's probably going on all across our area.
Yeah, there's definitely opportunity there for it.
And
but rather than dwell on the negative, let's switch to a happier. We should get some racing in this weekend.
We got an action-packed weekend, and it starts Thursday morning, 7:15 a.m. Your boy right here, well, my voice anyway, will be on X Country 106.5 out of Kankakee. So if you're in the area, tune in 7:15. Bill Yonka will have me on. The announcer, the voice of Kankakee County Speedway, will have the photographer on, and I'm not really sure exactly specifically what we're going to talk about, but the segment is called Off to the Races. It's certainly a positive, probably a little bit in-depth look at racing at Kankakee County Speedway. Why they chose?
Well, I just know it's always fun when somebody puts a mic in front of Brian with him having no preparation.
Yeah, this will be fun. I feel like Bill will do a good job of leading the conversation, and
I would hope so, because I'm not going to be there to save you.
Yeah, right. I am SOL. I cannot give the mic to you this time. So, yes, tune in, hear me make a fool out of myself. Hopefully, don't say anything that will get the radio station a letter from the FCC. I'll save that for this podcast. But yeah, so we're kicking things off Thursday morning, X Country 106.5 in the Kankakee area. They do have an app to stream. So if you're not in the area to get the radio station, find that app in the App Store or whatever Google uses. Google Store? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
You got a Google phone, don't you?
No, I do, but it's at Google Play, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Find the app, download it. It's free, and you can stream me making a fool out of myself on live radio.
As opposed to recorded podcasts.
Correct. I don't know that this will be recorded. I'm not sure. But anyway, that kicks things off Thursday morning. I'll be on the radio. Got my notes. Okay.
And what do you got going on Friday? You don't have anything big planned for Friday, do you?
Friday we are back in action at Kankakee County Speedway. Weekly racing plus the Vintage Series. Happy to be back after our 5-week hiatus. So I'm sure that'll be brought up on the radio show.
I'm sure there will be. There's something else going on Friday that I'm escaping me right now that might involve Kankakee Motor Speedway and Mom.
Yes. We're going to have a photo booth. Traditionally, it's been, I guess, photographers have had trouble setting up out there. They've kind of been limited because there's no real permanent structure for the photographers to use. I know our Illiana days were a trailer with the side cutout that opened as a window. Grundy and Shadyhill have both generously found a booth that we can be in that is far sturdier, more secure structure, more permanent by all means. Shadyhill does have a hole in the floor that you gotta watch.
Well, that's why there's only half the booths open.
Right. But yeah, so we'll have a tent up. Mom will be there slinging some pictures. Come check us out. I did tell her to, stay open all night. We understand that racers are coming in after work and don't have time before the races or during the races because we run a very efficient show out there. So I did tell her, just don't pack up until we're on our way out. So, because I know the guys, the racers will be turning in transponders, collecting payout and all that at the souvenir trailer. So I did tell her, stay open, let people come, because like with Shadyhill and Grundy, it's like features happen and like sales just kind of dry up, and we might get one or two stragglers come looking for something, but like we're never really officially packed up until like we're ready to go.
Right.
But yeah, I know she does start to pack up around feature time at Shadyhill, so we'll be open. We'll be there. Come check us out. Plenty of stuff to purchase. We'll have our sublimation book of all the crazy stuff we do. We'll have a few samples there of things to kind of show that off. But yes, so 5-week hiatus is over. We're back to racing. I'm on the radio, live 106.5 X Country out of Kankakee. It'll be a fun time getting things ready to go. 4 nights left at Kankakee. this Friday, next Friday. We're off Labor Day. We're off the 11th. Back at it with the Mars, Big Daddy Scrap 40 late models, and then season championship night the 25th. So only 4 more nights at Kankakee County Speedway this season. And then the banquet is January 23rd, I think. We can confirm that later.
We've got a few minutes before we need that.
Confirm January 23rd. I just looked at the schedule because it's right here.
There you go.
So yes, get out there. There's only 4 more chances to get yourself a beer, a hot dog, or a cheeseburger, and watch some good racing at the Kankakee County Speedway. It's all being a promoter, ain't it?
Yeah.
I'm not even the promoter. I'm just a photographer. Anyway, sticking with the dirt action, the national tour is out west in the great state of Iowa. They've got a whole week and a half of stuff going on. Tonight, Tuesday night, there's a Flow Night in America at Marshalltown. Tomorrow, Wednesday night, is Flow Night in America at Mason City. They all get Thursday off. From what I've seen, there might be a race somewhere out there Thursday. But the World of Outlaw late models make their Maquoketa Speedway return Friday the 22nd and Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd for the Hawkeye 100. Hoker Trucking is a big sponsor of that. They've actually got a points purse for the week starting, I don't know if it was tonight or whatever, but like it's specific for like all these races out there over the next like 10 days. And then I think they're off pretty much Sunday through like next Wednesday. They're at the 26th, they're at Oskaloosa. The 28th, they're at Adams County. And the 29th, they're at Shelby County. Most of this will be on either Flow or Dirt Vision. So make sure you got your subscriptions if you want to watch it. Or come to Kankakee or Grundy County Friday night or Shadyhill Saturday. So that's that for those guys.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I did confirm with Tammy that the Firecracker 50 is a no-go for this year. I think they're down to 5 nights out there. 22nd, 29th, 8th, or 5th, or whatever it is. Then they're off the 12th. So, yeah, it'd be the 5th. Off the 12th, and then...
Maybe that's the mystery this year. The mystery is they've tacked on 50 more laps.
Yeah, right. And then the Michigan 100, which, as we know, the winner doesn't know what they win, but a decent payout. It's $500 to start. I think second place is $1,500, and I have not seen a payout less than $5,000 for first, making this at least equal to, but most often the biggest winner's purse in the area for modifieds. We have deemed it, self-proclaimed, if you will, the most grueling modified race in the Midwest. It's 100 laps.
Especially if to tack on that extra 50.
You gotta, yeah, right. You gotta break at lap 50 for the crews to come out on the front stretch. Really cool. Doing kind of live pit stops. That's one of my favorite parts of the race.
Mm-hmm.
And go another 50 laps. And man, the past couple of years have been some pretty good races with Bryce Schreiber coming along and Beau DeYoung, making things interesting. I know we get some dogs, man. Frank Marshall, Beau's coming along on it. Brad's always there. Nick Allen, he obviously won't be running it this year with his broken back, but yeah, we usually get a good crop of talent. This year we are selling lap sponsors, so if you're interested, it's $25 a lap. Reach out to me, reach out to Tammy, or Shadyhill Speedway. Message the page. Just let them know. $25 per lap, and it goes straight to the lap leader. Nobody's pocketing any side money, nothing like that. It is straight to the lap leader for that lap. So I know that it ain't much, but
if you're Frank Marshall and you score 25,
yeah, right. If you lead enough laps, it'll definitely be worth it. But so that's cool. That's unique. That's something that we don't see a whole lot of in the dirt racing side of things. But Cheryl Wren's been doing it a long time on asphalt, You know,
Yeah.
I think we go back to the Illiana days with lap sponsorship.
Yep, I can remember we typically got 2 or 3 laps in every betting house we've been a part of.
Yep. So we're keeping the tradition going. We got 4 laps, of course, 12, 30, 40, and 44.
Yeah, it's nice being the first one to pick.
Yeah, right. And I want to say we're about third sold already, so they're going pretty fast. My goal is to have them all sold off by Labor Day so we can get all the promotional work done. We're also offering a presenting sponsor for Fast Qualifier and a few other things that are already sponsored. So doing our part to give more money back to the racers. As we've said, racing's expensive. Whether you're just going to sit and watch it and eat, $8 cheeseburgers, or you're putting new tires on the car, or having a race car, or just taking pictures. Shit, an SD card is almost $150 these days. Maybe pushing 200 if you look in the right spot. So life ain't getting cheaper, and this is a cool, affordable way to put your name on something and kind of get your foot in the door with maybe bigger opportunities next year.
Yeah.
We've got billboards, we've got banners, we've got the souvenir program. So this is a cool way, and I know
It'll
that
definitely get you on Brian's list of people to contact for next year.
Yeah. Oh, no, here we go. So that's coming up next month, September 19th, the Mystery 100. I think, what did I have it as? Billy and Tammy's Mystery 100. Yeah. So that's, of course, going to be a good time. We can't forget this weekend at Shadyhill, the 22nd, is a regular night with the Midwest Throwback Sprint Series. And then, hey, look at that. You're shooting sprint cars. Well, I guess runs them, no big deal.
Those are midgets.
Oh, that's right. You're shooting sprint cars twice in a row almost.
Those are midgets too.
Those are midgets? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there with the group at Plymouth and the group who usually runs Grundy.
Yeah, let's not forget Grundy. They are racing Friday night, August 21st.
They are, and all of this rain we've had this year really kind of. Yeah, we're straight double features this week. It's like a preview of actual double feature night. Well, not really double feature night, but night of features.
Don't forget them. And Juice Box Racing returns.
About that, I just got a message. So
they're not returning.
So double features at Grundy. Being a NASCAR sanctioned track with a lot of NASCAR sanctioning rules, the NASCAR sanctioned divisions have to have so many features per year to get their national points. Yeah. So the NASCAR, I said that word a lot, the late models, not the supers, the NASCAR Big 8 style late models are running double features. One of those is a makeup from earlier this year. So only the cars in attendance that night are eligible to run that one. But then we got the NASCAR Mid-Ams running double features, the Village Realty Pure Stocks running double features, and the standard Grundy County adult plus kid, I guess, Super Cup series are also running double features. So I don't think I'm going to need the Heat Victory Lane sign at all.
Leave that at home.
Yeah. Yeah, double features across the board at Grundy. That's looking like it's going to be a good show. I got rescheduled from last weekend, Saturday morning at Plymouth. We got mini wedge season championships. So I'm hoping Grundy's going to be a easy, quick, no wreck, get home by midnight night so that I can get back up in the morning and head out to Plymouth.
And load up and head to Shady
Hill.
Hill.
Just so I can head right to Shadyhill. So looking forward to, it's always bittersweet end of the season, but those kids have been so great, done such a good job. It's Melissa Keys' swan song. They have opted out of returning to run the mini wedge division, which totally understandable. Youth sports is youth sports because of youth sports. Hats off to her for putting this season together and rolling with as much as she could, because God knows it's been a rough year on her, with her health issues on top of trying to race a car and also run a division. So we'll be out there for that, and then jetting off to Shadyhill to fill in for Brian because Brian has something more important to do.
My buddy's
And
30th birthday.
then we gotta turn right back around and headed out to Rockford on Sunday, the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame. Not inducting anybody this year, more of a kind of a celebration. I believe Wayne's Museum is under construction, I think is why we're blaming this. But I got a presentation from Stan Kalazinski, a talk with Dave Marcus going to be in attendance. Car show, I think Art said there's going to be a DJ, but either way, that place is one of the coolest places I have ever been. I am very much looking forward to being there once again and not having to stay all night because that's a bit of a haul for us. So being able to make that a day trip instead of an Aaron keep me awake on the way home trip, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're not doing anything, hell, if you got a day off and you're reasonably close to driving to Rockford, go up there, check it out. That is an awesome, the museum itself is awesome, plus all of the Illinois racing history that Art has there in the Hall of Fame area of the museum is just, it's mind-boggling how much history is there.
Yeah. I was up there quite a few years ago now with Dad, and I need to make
you should go back up there because it is awesome.
I could use some spotted cow.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not too late to let Art know that you're coming with on Sunday.
That's true. I'll give it some thought. I got to get home from the White Sox game.
Don't give it a whole lot of thought because I got to tell Art pretty soon.
Yeah, I need to. Well, yeah, I'm probably going to be pretty late with the White Sox game. And I'm driver.
Oh, so like I'm going to be any earlier with Shadyhill.
You might be. We might be getting home at the same time. Just give me the
there
card
you
and I'll upload. Yeah. But, there's a little bit more racing going on. You know, Farmer City's running Friday night. I'm sure the slew of Central Illinois tracks are going to get some racing in. I'm sure the slew of Indiana tracks are going to try to get some in. I don't know where we're looking at with all the floodwaters. And then I know Montpelier over there is having their Big Chiefs weekend Friday, Saturday night race with culminating with the Super Stock Rumble on Saturday, which is $1,700 to win. And you get a really cool fire pit from CNC Plasma something out that way. It's
that's a thing.
It was let me see here. Corey Glassburn. It was Nick Glassburn is one that does it. His son Corey raced the stock car series out at Shadyhill, and I had talked to him a little bit, and he had mentioned making trophies for Shadyhill at one point, and I did the I'm just a photographer, pass you off to Billy and Tammy on that. Nothing ever really came of it, but yeah, I've seen some of his work, and they're pretty neat. I mean, I probably wouldn't go for one in my place, but they're really cool, and they'd be, if I had a race shop situation, probably have one for that. But yeah, that's out at Montpelier. You mentioned the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame going on Sunday up in Rockford, Illinois, and the big news out of NASCAR coming back to Chicagoland in 2027 on the weekend of
in late June this time. So that's hopefully not quite as
right in the smack dab of monsoon season.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping with it being a little bit earlier in the year, it's not going to be quite as bad as it was this time.
Hopefully, it's monsoon and not derecho.
But yeah, something weather we got going on here the last few years. I don't know.
Yeah, right. And then for all you non-racing type, that country folk, Saturday night the 22nd at Grundy County Fairgrounds.
Well, I'm not sure where exactly they're doing it. I know it's going to be there somewhere.
The TNA Bucking Bulls. I don't know if that's what they're using, but we're going to roll with it. They got a roadie going on. So if you already got your horsepower fix from Friday night racing, head on down to the Grundy County Fairgrounds and catch yourself a rodeo. How Tuner Fest, bro? Is this like Tuner Fest? Like we don't care. Although can't imagine
we were not at Tuner Fest. Christy Penrod actually decided that I needed to get out of the house, so she drugged me to her birthday party. That was a good time, taking a day off in between racing and then turning around and editing a whole bunch of pictures from last weekend. 2 weeks ago.
You didn't race nothing. You didn't race.
No, that was Saturday after the Thursday at Plymouth and the Friday at Grundy.
Hello, timeline.
2 weeks ago. Anyway. This past weekend, I barely left the house because there was nowhere to go and no gas to get there.
Well, if you had a boat.
That's about right.
Well, we want to thank Beau DeYoung for coming on and talking all about his win and talking some racing stuff. I'm sure that'll pique some guys, some listeners' interest, some watchers' interest. Want to thank all of you for listening and watching us. Appreciate you for letting us ramble on this long. Sorry, I dropped the ball on the one positive. We didn't even post this week.
That's no. Well, it's understandably. I mean, one positive is we didn't get washed away.
We made it through the derecho.
I think everybody except Dirty Bob has given us enough permission because of the whole getting rained out everywhere thing.
Yeah, right. We want to thank our supporters, Dirty Bob. After hours.
Yeah, you know, being over at your house the other day putting that Kankakee booth together, maybe it's time to call Dirty Bob.
I mowed the lawn yesterday. I mowed it Monday. So we're good.
All right.
Probably time to mow it again.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't gotten any rain lately.
Yeah. So thank you to After Hours Mowing and Dirty Bob. Thank you to Stan and S4 Motorsports and all he's done for us. And thank you to Damn It Videos. James, we appreciate you always sharing our stuff and capturing great videos out there at the Grundy County Speedway.
Yeah, just listening to Beau earlier, how important it is. Not necessarily going to get into the weeds on the live streaming of the flow or anything, but having that video afterwards to go back and, okay, what did I mess up or what did we do right?
Yeah. Well, we can certainly get into the weeds, just not today. We'll make that.
How much of this episode do you want to edit?
There is. I have another interesting take on streaming for racing.
All right, that sounds like a good future episode.
It's definitely gonna be a good future episode. I think it raises a lot of debate on really kind of where we are as fans and where streaming is as a business. So yes, tune into that one. It's coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe we even go live and get some live commentary. Although that might distract us from the point at hand. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Thanks to everyone for listening. As I said, support those that support you and what we do. So as you look through the souvenir programs, check out all the billboards and signage around the tracks, sponsors on the cars, support those people. Let them know you caught them at the racetrack or on the race car. That helps us in the racing world continue to grow and maintain sponsorships and advertisers, so that allows us to reinvest in equipment, in race cars, in what's the word I'm thinking of here? In the track facilities, invest in facilities. There you go. That one made me sweat. Yeah, but again, it was awesome to hear from Beau, and congratulations to him on the win and the kid. And we'll catch you at the racetrack.
Yep.
Don't forget to listen to me, X Country 106.5, Thursday morning at 7:15 a.m. Tune in on the radio or find it on the app streaming. We'll catch you at the racetrack.